secret to ultimate happiness. What a great way to get all of our attention. Maybe not so much the younger ones, because they're happy just being the way they are. But for those of us who've had our fun time, Dr. Jim told us how to get back to at least a fun portion of time. His opening topic was great, way up there. And then he got our attention by saying, you have 4 hours. And we went, no. But then he told us what to do to come out of here. He told us about the world of hobbies and how we all need to have hobbies. For each of the point of his hobbies, of having a hobby, he gave stories with it. And those 4 points helped us realize that we have enough of BAU, work and everything else going on, but if you flip enough, it becomes funny. So this helps illustrate the dichotomy of your hobby cannot be your work. As much as growing up, as I was playing games and role-playing games, it would be great to have this automated. But that would mean my hobby would be my work. I guess that's the ultimate goal, but it's still nice having that division. So Jim, as he told us about these hobbies and these individual stories, one of the great things I thought he did was comparing it to a campfire. You have to plan, not necessarily schedule it, but plan it. And the idea of building the fire, laying the foundation. And that led me to reflect on, do I have a hobby? As most of us were asked, thinking, do I have a hobby? And over the years I thought, well, maybe I had a hobby. But then I realized this weekend I'm having a group of high school kids and elementary kids sleep over Friday night to play a game, a role-playing game. And that was, for them, it's just one night. But I've spent 20 to 40 hours planning this story, prepping their characters for this story. So yes, it is demanding. So I realized, yes, I do have a hobby. And that may not be my legacy to the world, but to these kids I play with, it's their legacy. They'll tell these stories for the rest of their lives. They may even introduce it to their kids. Also, Dr. Jim mentioned that a pet is like a hobby. And even though after you get the pet, there may be some, the one thing that Dr. Jim forgot to mention was interaction. Yes, there's a joy in bringing it, but there's the interaction, the joy that you get from being with a pet, the same as a hobby would be, to give you that happiness. Dr. Jim was to be a persuasive leader in this speech, to convince us. And looking around the room, I was quite convinced that a lot of us thought, do I have a hobby? And those who did have a hobby had a little bit of a smile. It's like, yes, I have this, and I can work on this. So Dr. Jim, thank you for persuading us and convincing us that we should have a hobby. Thank you.